Hi, welcome back, class. Today we're going to continue our lesson with geometry. Yesterday we started to discuss geometry and our 2 and 3 dimensional shapes. Now, 2D, these shapes have sides and corners, and 3D, they have edges, vertices, and faces. Now, here on the board, I drew a square and a cube right next to it. Now, two-dimensional figures, such as the square here, um, can make up our three-dimensional figures, as seen here. Lori, can you tell us how many faces, square faces, are on this cube? 6. Good job. And we know this because we can see here in our diagram, we have one face, this front face, and then the top face. But what we don't see is the bottom face, the right side, and let's see, top, bottom, left, right, and the front, and then the back. So 6. You're right. So for today's lesson, we are going to compose two-dimensional and three-dimensional figures, and we're going to also decompose two-dimensional figures. So first, here I have a pentagon, and it takes 2 trapezoids to make a pentagon. Now here I have 3 parallelograms. 2, 3. 3 parallelograms make a pentagon. Now if I were to take one of these parallelograms off and replace it with 2 triangles, that would also create a pentagon, right? Now, if we know 1 parallelogram is equal to 2 triangles, Lori, can you tell me how many triangles make up a pentagon? 6. Good job. And we know that because 1 parallelogram make up 2, so we have 2 here, another 2, and another 2. That would equal 6. Now, Lori, I would like you to create a two-dimensional figure using these telegrams I have here. So, here she made a small little triangle. Do you think you can build upon that small triangle and probably make a larger triangle? And during this time in the classroom, I would be walking around seeing students' designs of a two-dimensional figure. Students can use, bless you. You good? Okay. Students can either use these little telegrams, or they can also use a whiteboard maybe as well. Maybe if you we have the shapes drawn on. Okay, let's see what Lori. She actually made a larger triangle. Now, for that smaller triangle, how many green triangles did you use? 1. And how many trapezoids? 1. Okay, and for this larger triangle, how many green triangles did you use? 1. And how many parallelograms? 3. And I'm sorry, trapezoids. 3. Okay. So for our moving on to our three-dimensional figures, I would have my students sketch out what they've drawn on the table into their math journal. So for our three-dimensional figures, as a class, I would model how to build a cube, and my students will go ahead and build a cube with me. But I'm going to go ahead and build a cube, and I'm going to ask Lori here to build another three-dimensional figure of her own. And then again, I would just be walking around the classroom, observing my students, asking them questions, Um, Referring back to our anchor chart we created the previous day, asking them questions about how many faces, um, edges, and vertices their figure has. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you can use the table. And then here I supplied my students with little popsicle sticks and little rods, and they're using little clay balls. So Lori, go ahead and share what you have made. What did you make? Oh, that's very good pyramid. Can you tell me how many faces are in that pyramid? Yeah. How about the vertices? 4. And edges? 6. All right. Good job. And then here I have made my cube for the class. And here we would apply it again at our warm-up right here. Students can actually see a visual three-dimensional shape they have built. They can see all the faces and all the edges and vertices. And again, I would have my students sketch out in their math journal, a math journal of their creation. Good job here. So for our final, we're going to be decomposing two-dimensional shapes. So basically with decomposing, we have a original shape, for example, this trapezoid, and we're going to see what other shapes can compose this trapezoid. So basically we're going to be breaking it down. So here, let's see, we have a triangle. We have 2 triangles and a pentagon. So here is our pentagon, and then our 2 triangles that make up our trapezoid. Here we have our another pentagon and a triangle. So this is what our students will be doing. For example, students will receive a worksheet and they would be completing this and for example, we have a square and we would cut across it diagonally and we would have our 2 triangles. Right here, go Lori. If you can cut that for us in half, go ahead, rip it. Alright, and what 2 shapes do we have to make a pentagon? A square and a triangle. Okay. What about this one? So again, I would just pass out a worksheet. Students would be able to draw on them. And what 2 shapes are those? Good job. And they could, draw the lines with a pencil like I showed on the square. Or if students would like, you can also print out larger shapes and students can do what Lori here is doing. She is cutting the papers in half and demonstrating which 2 shapes here as well. I hope y'all liked it. It was fun and take care.